child of the 70s and 80s, and we were taught that men don't cry, and that, if you get a spanking or whatever, your dad would always tell you, if you want to cry, I'll give you something else to cry about. And you were always taught to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you kind of had the John Wayne syndrome and tough guy persona. And it's like you said, if you don't deal with trauma, if you don't deal with the emotions of the things that you see in law enforcement, it's going to come back to bite you.
Well, they've found over time that, and it doesn't matter whether it's police officers or the general public, that the way to deal with it is actually talking about it. If you bottle it up, it just sits there and festers and festers. But if you talk about it, it actually is very cathartic for you.
So for the officer listening right now, silently carrying the weight of the job, what would you say to them?
Find people that you can generally trust and talk to them. Open up about what's going on. So many of us have turned into alcoholics. I've been dealing with several alcoholics recently, both veterans and first responders. That just is the worst thing for you, to turn to the bottle, try to isolate yourself from everybody else so you don't hurt anymore. And that's the reason why our suicide numbers are so high, because at some point in time you're not able to deal with it. And there are resources out there. There are counselors and things that have been first responders that can help you. Don't just deal with it yourself. Find the resources, whether you call Cop Line or one of the other police lines. You find a good buddy that's a cop with you that you can confide in and trust in. Anybody that you can talk to. It's much better that you talk to them than not.
Well, Tom, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and I want to thank you for your uh, willingness to share, obviously, some painful moments in your past. And thank you again for your service to your community. And I'm glad that you're a man of faith and that your faith helps you to stay grounded. To the listening audience, I want to say thank you for the privilege of your time. Thanks for listening to today's conversation with Tom Lee. His story reminds us that behind every badge is a human being carrying wounds most people never see, and that the cost of service doesn't end when the call is over. Tom's honesty about trauma, faith, and the long road to healing gives all of us a deeper understanding of what first responders face and what real resilience looks like. If this episode moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're a first responder struggling in silence, let Tom's story be a reminder you're not alone and there is a way forward. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep pursuing truth with courage. Now, Tom, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you or get in contact with you, how would they do that?
I've got a website. I've written a book. That website is www.scarsofthebadge.com.
Scarsofthebadge.com. Okay.
And then you can get my email address from there, and I check that and I'll email you back.
All right. And I'll put that in the show notes as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.